Hi, I finished this one off the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. Now, this was the one that really leapt out at me from when the long list was announced. It was just one that intrigued me so much. 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster by Mirinae. And I've read that I read somewhere, but I've not been able to sort of find anything about it yet, that the story is inspired by her great-grandmother. I saw that somewhere, but whether that's true or not, and I'm not sure. But I'd like to read more about her great-grandmother if it's inspired by if her grandmother's life inspired this. As it says on the front cover, slave, escape artist, murderer, terrorist, spy, lover, mother, trickster. So it's a book set in a Korean nursing home, South Korean nursing home. And our narrator is a middle-aged woman who's recently divorced, and she's taken it upon herself to document the lives of the residents, almost write their obituaries for them, sort of let them tell the stories of their lives. And she meets Grandma Mook, Mrs. Mook, Grandma Mook, who is nearing 100 and is in the Alzheimer's ward, the Alzheimer's wing of the nursing home. And she tells our narrator that she will tell her 8 stories about her life. And she does. She has 8 stories, 8 lives. And they reveal her in these stories to be a spy, a mother, a murderer, a lover, everything that's listed on here. They show her to be almost someone who shapeshifts, because she seems to have different identities in each story. And so as a reader, you're not quite sure whether she's reliable or not, because these stories take on different lives. We have stories of her childhood, which are dreadful because of the abuse she suffers. And then we move on to the Korean War and World War II, when she is taken to be a comfort woman, a sex slave for the soldiers, and the barbarity is awful to read about. And then what happens in her later life. And as I said, you're not sure whether she's actually telling the truth or not, or whether she's just being a storyteller. The stories aren't in chronological order. We start off with the 5th life, the 1st life, the 3rd life, the 2nd life. It goes all over the place, which, again, for a reader, it makes it more. It makes you question again whether she is reliable or not. And I found that I was almost like being a detective, trying to pull out threads from each story to see whether they join together. I loved reading about each life. There was something to take away from each of her stories. And I liked her. I did like Grandma Mook. I thought she was brilliant. And it was fascinating to reach the end of the story and to see how everything sort of comes together. And, it leaves all sorts of, did every story she told, was every story truth, or was there grains of truth in each one, or were they all sorts of stories just to amuse the narrator? As I said, when this was announced on the long list, it piqued my interest, and I was not disappointed when I read it. So I am now reading The Maiden by Kate Foster. I am still listening to Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. So I've got 2 on the go at the moment. So And I'm still struggling to get the others from the library because my library just don't seem to have a lot of the long list there at the moment. I've ordered the Kate Grenville one, but that's about the only one that I've been able to order. So, I know, we'll see. I will get there eventually. So happy reading. Take care.